welcome to the M2 podcast. I'm your host, Michael Ante, my co-host, Kyle Heath. This is the show where we do gaming, industry-related news. We're talking new and upcoming games, technology, innovation, esports personalities, and just ordinary gaming industry-related news. And what we like to do at the start of every single show is basically do a quick update of what each other have been up to. And Kyle, without further ado, what have you been doing this last week?
Yeah, what have I been doing? Well, I'm starting the show off strong because I put us on the article screen by accident, so fans will see what you're about to see what we're doing first.
I was wondering what the deal was with your like. I looked over at the cam and I just saw you like your eyebrows go up like.
Yeah. So we talk about Redfall shortly, but all right, listen, gotta get through the updates first.
That's a fact.
So this week, I actually played a few games this week, more than normal. Which, you know, I love saying.
That's always good.
Honestly, yeah, I love. Dude, I just have to say, also, quick sidebar. I love the amount of games all my homies are playing, and just like everyone's trying new stuff. Dude. Like, oh, it's just, I don't know, it's fun. It feels like we're just like together, but not. Like, it's weird.
Yeah.
So
there's a bonding experience. That's what it is.
Yeah, for real. We're branching out. You love to see it. Yeah, this week I checked out. Okay. This week, the main crux of my week was Resident Evil 0. Now, I mentioned, I guess like maybe a couple weeks ago when I did Resident Evil 4, I really enjoyed it. And I had the idea. I was like, you know what? I never played Resident Evil 0 and Resident Evil 1, so I was like, they're on PC. Why not give them a shot? So I downloaded both the games. I started Resident Evil 0. I came to find out that was probably a mistake on my part. Because lo and behold, that game's actually known to be one of the harder ones in the series, even though it's like technically the first entry, like canonically. So I'm sitting there playing the game. There's been I'm very close to beating it, but I'm at a point where I've essentially just put the game down for now. And let me tell you why. All right. So
okay,
it's. You know those games like from like way like like PlayStation 1 days, like early, like those early day games, there was no concept of auto saving, and like even before that, I mean, there's hardly even concepts of saving in like some of the earlier games, right? So I mean, you kind of and then like Resident Evil, especially the older ones, it's always been you have typewriters and you have ink ribbons that you find with the typewriters, and you can use those, and you have a limited amount to use those to save. Well, you only find those in save rooms in the actual levels, so. They're more or less, I mean, once you're like towards the latter half of the game, they're not as like few and far between, but especially early on, it's kind of like you only have a certain amount, right? So it's like I just go through and I'll play like a solid hour without saving most of the time, just because like I'm getting stuff done and I'm just like not really thinking about it. And especially at the start of the game, it's like, I would have these really long chunks where I just wouldn't save. And needless to say, it bit me a few times. I'm just like, I just didn't save, and then I would die to something stupid, and then I'd have to like replay everything. Obviously the good in that is that, when you're replaying stuff and you're replaying like these sections, them like the back of your hand at this point, so it's like you just breeze through it. But it's still like there's still some sections where like I had a lot to redo, even though I knew what to do. It's just like oh, like it's so tedious having to do all this and all that. Another design flaw I would probably say in these old Resident Evil games is that, and this is part of the fact of they're survival horror games. So part of the horror element, and part of the whole theme is that, when you open a door, there's specific animations that take about 5 seconds. So it's just like a black background with a door and it kind of creaks open, or if it's like a ladder, you slowly climb up it. You just see that like little animation. That's every single time you open a door. That's every single time you climb a ladder.
Oh, wow.
And at the start of the game, it's like, okay, this is spooky. Ooh, like, but like after about like, a few hours in, and like if you're backtracking a lot and you're just like sitting there, you're just sitting on these animations, you can't skip them. So there's been people that have made mods to actually just completely skip them, because like it actually is like really easy. Like the INI file, you can easily just kind of like flag the animations to just not happen. So it's like really easy to like kind of get around, but it's just like one of the things from a design perspective. It's like I get what they're going for, but the fact that they're not like skippable at the very least is just like it just gets annoying. So it's like
yeah, that's odd. But I mean, you said it's the first Resident Evil game.
So yeah, so this is 0, obviously. Yeah, I mean, well, it's like, so this is 0. This is a prequel that was made after, I think, 2. I want to say it was like after 2, between 2 and 3, or like somewhere around there. Okay. Is when it was originally made, and then they like launched it later. They remastered it and everything. but yeah, I mean that just all these older, 1, 2, 3, and 0. It's all that same style where it's like you go through a door. It's like that you see that animation, and it's kind of just like it adds to the feel, and I get what they're going for. But yeah, it gets old very quick, and so like it's like little things like that. So like if I have to replay a section and I have to pass through like 10 doors, I mean that's like it feels like 10 minutes just gone because I'm like sitting through all these animations, and it's like you just feel at a certain point you're wasting your time. So yeah, I don't know, and I may upset Resident Evil fans for saying that, but it's just like I just I will say I'm spoiled by modern gaming. I will fully admit that. Like there's just a lot of things between auto saving and just like having having the like most games, especially today, there's not a lot of backtracking because we have like devs have so much to work with in these worlds, and they don't have to worry necessarily about backtracking. Or if backtracking is done, it's done in a way where it's different the second time around, so you're not just seeing the same stuff. Yeah, games have evolved to say the least since that time, but yeah,
that's a good point. Yeah,
I mean, look, other than that, I Resident Evil 0, I still enjoyed it, and I'm still gonna go back and like finish it, I think, but yeah, I got frustrated a few times this week. I'm not gonna lie, playing that game.
Yeah, I mean, you sent me a DM and like a group message where you're just frustrated. You're like, I gotta take a break,
Dude,
just
yeah.
run off.
There were so many times where I just like put the game down. I was like, I'm gonna walk away, just like relax, and just like not let it get to me because that was the whole thing. Anyway, that was only one of the games I played this week. I'm gonna wait to. I want to do Resident Evil 1. I hear the Resident Evil 1 is actually not only is it easier, but it's just like arguably the best game in the series. The remaster or remake that is.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm very much looking forward to playing that, but I'm taking a break for now. On top of that, one of the other games I checked out this week was a game that's actually on Game Pass. That is Assassin's Creed Origins. So that's I guess the 2018 Assassin's Creed release. It's one of those games that's always been on my like list, and now I'm at a point where I'm like, I can get some use out of Game Pass. I mean, I have this for free, so might as well try it. And I played about 30 minutes and I enjoyed it. So looking forward to hopping back in that soon and kind of playing that. I did look up the main story is if you just breeze through it, it's actually like 30 hours. So it's a very long game. Odyssey, the one that came out after that, is 45 hours main story. That's just main story, by the way. It's not sides. It's nothing like.
That's on my list too. That's scary.
Yeah. And if you thought about playing Valhalla, do you want to take a guess on how many hours that game takes to be main story?
Well, going with trends, it's got to be 60, right?
Ding, ding, ding. You got it. 60
30
hours.
to 45 to 60.
Bro, literally, they add 15 hours each release, apparently, the last 3. So, yeah, they're long games. Yeah, completionist is like, probably 150, 200 plus hours on some of these. So,
I'm worried that, like,
content.
Yeah, I'm worried that AAA developers are trying to make their games as long as possible when it doesn't need to be.
Yeah. And I mean, look, I've been like seeing forum posts and stuff, and there's a lot of like diehard Assassin's Creed fans that are just like, like it was great. I beat the main story, but like, there's some people that play 100, 150 hours and they're just like, I mean, I can't complete this game because I'm already burnt out. There's just like, there's not really much else being added to the formula kind of thing.
Yeah.
But I mean, I would argue also 100, 150 hours on a game like that. That's pretty impressive. So
it's supposed to be a single player game. Getting that much time out of it's insane.
Yeah, I mean, I'm getting like 30 hours out of some of these games, and I'm like surprised I'm even making it that far. But yeah, because there's just so many games. It's like I get to a certain point where I'm just like, I want to try something else. Like I want to move on. So, but I mean, I also can't argue too. There's a lot of games too that I've sunk 30 hours in, and I want to sink 30 more. So, it's all about the game, I guess. Yeah. So yeah, play Resident Evil 0, played Assassin's Creed Origins a little bit. I also hopped back on Valorant for a little bit.
Let's go.
I had a buddy that
how was that?
Yeah, I had a buddy that wanted to play, and so hopped on. It was fun. I enjoyed it. It's Valorant. I enjoy those shooters. I very much enjoy like those like tactical shooters. So for me, yeah, it was a lot of fun. But I think other than that, I'm trying to think if I played anything else. It was like mainly those 3. I think. I don't know if I tried out anything else this week, but yeah, I got some games to play. That's for sure.
It's awesome, man. I'm happy for you. I got a bunch of games in this week too. Like I just got done playing right before you joined up so we can start recording. Clone Hero. So I talked about that I think a couple of weeks ago. Finally got myself a Guitar Hero controller. I can't tell whether or not it's broken or if I'm just bad at the game. because I haven't played Guitar Hero or Rock Band in general in like 15 years, like since it first came out, really. I remember playing Expert and I was decent, I was pretty good. But now I'm like trying to play on the PC. I'm like, oh my gosh, this is a lot harder than I remember, man. But the cool thing about it is like it's open source kind of, and people use songs and stuff like that where they can make their own charts to play. So it's like I've already gone and found like some of my favorite bands and songs,
Yeah.
played those through. I was just having a good time. I've also finished some progress on the games I've been working on. So I know I told you that I beat Ori and the Blind Forest last week, I think.
Yeah. Yeah.
I beat it 100% completion this last weekend.
Ooh,
Super fun.
okay.
Um, Puzzle scavenger style end game. Like pretty fun. I moved on and I started Ori and the Will of the Wisp, the second game. That has man, this story is like absolutely gorgeous. There's no other way to
Oh,
say it.
I
Like
love it.
the first game, The Blind Forest, has such a very depressing, dark start. Like there's no hope available, and you play as Ori, the character. That's why it's named Ori, the game, who's a spirit, and the spirit has like powers that you can gather. And it's like it's a redemption arc. Like everything falls apart because of Ori, and then Ori fixes everything. So by the end of the game, everything's great. So you go into the new game, and it's an opposite start where like the Will of the Wisp is very, very happy and it's optimistic, and it's like you almost have like a family in a way.
Wow.
Um, and then it all comes crashing and burns to a halt, and then you have to fix it. It's like
Yeah.
it's pretty cool, man. It's like it adds a lot more in-depth characters. It's a little bit more how do I say, like, helpful in the direction which you need to progress through the game, whereas the first game was like, "Okay, here's the game, go."
Yeah.
Like, "Good luck, figure it out."
Right.
This one's a little bit more hand-holding, I think, which is fine. It's just like maybe they got complaints, like, people are having difficulty finding out where to go. It was like,
Yeah.
I enjoyed it. Like, the idea is to explore.
Right.
So, it's pretty cool. I don't know how far I am, probably, like, a little less than halfway through of finishing that game. I finished Back for Blood. We finished the
There you go.
final act, and if I knew that the final act was actually something that you could finish in a matter of 15 minutes with the boys, I would have just went ahead and finished it.
Yeah.
But uh yeah, so we finished it real quick, and then we were expecting to be there for like 3 hours.
Yeah.
So one of our guys was like, "All right, well, up the difficulty, start from the first act." So we're like, "Okay, cool. Let's go to Nightmare, which is one below New Hope.
Oh,
So
dude,
it's
yeah.
like the second hardest." My goodness, man, the game goes out of its way to destroy your soul. It
Oh,
was
man.
so bad. Like we basically have decided that we're all going to do research on the game and figure out what type of classes to build in order
Mm,
to help each other and be like the perfect team.
mm.
So
Gotcha. Yeah,
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 that's
dude.
gonna
I'll tell you right now,
it's a
you
tough
need
one.
that. You need teamwork, especially on the higher difficulties, and you have to have a deep understanding if you want
I
to make
didn't
it
know it
like
was
the
that bad.
easiest. Yeah, it's one
I
of
did
those
not
games,
know it was
man.
that bad.
Yeah, the harder it goes, the more teamwork you need. But yeah, it's you have to understand like the card system fully, and you have to you have to go in with builds. I feel like to actually like have a good time. So
Yeah,
yeah. um, yeah. I mean,
that's
I think to your point too about Ori, that was one of the things I enjoy about like Resident Evil and like those older games is that they did not hold your hand at all, and it makes it very
yes.
rewarding when you actually whenever you discover like a puzzle or you figure out, oh, this is what I use this for, like 'cause that like I really enjoy that. That was like my favorite aspect of those games.
It makes me feel like a genius.
Yeah, exactly. It makes you feel
Even if
good.
it's like yeah, I was literally playing in the living room with somebody else there reading a book, and I did something, I'm just like, "I am the smartest person that's ever played this game. I figured this out." Like,
Yeah,
it's such a good feeling, it's very rewarding.
yeah,
That's
yeah.
probably the
That's yeah.
best way to describe it.
Yeah, that's something I feel like modern games are missing, unfortunately, in some aspects.
Yeah.
But who knows? Harder difficulty may change that. Maybe I need to play harder stuff, but yeah, that's something I like. That's something I will always enjoy when the game doesn't hold your hand too much.
Yeah, but a good segue into that is, so the team of 4 that I have, me included, for Back for Blood,
Mm,
we're waiting for this new game to come out at the start of the month, next month,
there you go.
which is our first article that
Oh,
anybody that's watching on video format, Well,
Look,
obviously, it's the only way to watch. But that was the leak, the
look,
article.
you could go back and pause it, but there's no need because I'm just gonna show it right now.
Get it.
The Xbox version of Redfall, which you don't know is Bethesda's next release. It is very similar in Back 4 Blood in the fact that it is a co-op shooter. I want to say this though, and just like a warning to you if you are going to play with that group. I want to say I think I read somewhere it's only 3-player groups. Like you may have to fact check me on that, but yeah, I think I read somewhere it's only 3.
I was reading it last. I was reading it last night, and what I read was it was you and 3 other buddies.
Okay, maybe it is 4. Because it also wouldn't make sense if it was 3. Anyway, not important right now. What's important is that the Xbox version of Redfall is actually going to be capped at 30 FPS at launch. Man, 60 FPS is going to be coming in a later update. Bethesda has revealed that Redfall will be launching on Xbox consoles capped at 30 FPS quality mode, and that a 60 FPS performance mode will come at a later date. Revealed on Redfall's Twitter account, listed below in the IGN article. The game will run at 30 FPS in 4K on Xbox Series X and at 30 FPS in 1440p on Xbox Series S. Bethesda didn't specify when it will add the 60 FPS performance mode, but it's definitely coming after launch. It's also unclear why performance mode won't be available right away. Redfall also received backlash from fans recently after Bethesda revealed it would also launch with an always online requirement. However, Arcane said it's working on a solution to reverse that decision. Director Harvey Smith also said that a PS5 version of Redfall was in development before Microsoft merged with Bethesda, and the former came in and wanted the team to prioritize Xbox and PC platforms. Redfall is set to launch on May 2nd, which is 3 weeks away. For Xbox Series X and S and PC. In IGN's Redfall preview, we said, if Arcane Austin can bring its own version of the kind of innovation Far Cry 2 and Stalker did back in the late 2000s, then Redfall could well inject a static genre with some long overdue excitement. Yeah, and just a quick overview. It is it's similar in Back 4 Blood where it's just a team co-op shooter. You run around, you shoot you just kill vampires, and it's it is an FPS. From initial gameplay and like just seeing the story and stuff, I thought it looked really interesting. It's definitely something I'm gonna check out. It is on Game Pass, day and date. Go check it out if you have Game Pass. If you have buddies that have it too, it'd be an easy pickup in my opinion. I mean, if it's all console, do you want to play 30 FPS? I don't know. That's up to you. I mean, I think for me, I'll be playing it on PC, all the frames. But yeah, I think personally for me, the fact that it's 30 FPS on console at launch and there's no option for like a performance mode is concerning. I mean, I've heard some people say they should delay the game. I don't know how it's going to play yet. But I mean, I just, for an FPS like game in general, like 30 FPS is not something I enjoy in an FPS at this point. So yeah, it's definitely a little bit concerning, but I don't know, Mike, you playing this game at 30 FPS?
No, absolutely not. Honestly, like, I'm never playing a 30 FPS game, like first-person shooter, probably ever again, unless, like, not even unless, I just wouldn't do it. That's basically where I'm at. Like, I play Halo 2 on the original Xbox that does 30 FPS. Yeah. And when nades explode, it goes to 24 FPS. I love that game for nostalgic purposes, but I'm not gonna play a brand new AAA title coming out in 2023 on 30 frames per second. Yeah. There's just no shot. There's no shot I would do that. But to your point, it is concerning, I think. And it looks like Redfall, the official Twitter is basically saying, it's like, don't look at the 30 frames per second. Look at the fact that it's going to be 4K or 1440p. It's like, what does that matter when you're playing in slow motion, my man? Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, not for me. I don't think I'll be doing that. Hopefully the game is actually finished, but I feel like Bethesda is a little bit hit or miss.
Yeah.
Ever since the Fallout debacles, I'm like, I just don't really trust it.
It's a very fair critique. And I'm certainly on board with it. I think for me, 30 FPS on a console, for me, this is kind of my exception. I know I played Last of Us Part 2 at 30 FPS on console, but it was on a PS4. so it's like I had no choice. But like it's a different game, right? It's not an FPS, so
Yeah.
like it's one of those games where a third person game can kind of get away with it, especially if it's not like if shooting isn't the main like thing in the game, you know.
Yeah, Last of Us is more of like a storytelling game than it was a first
Right.
person shooter or third
It's
person shooter.
yeah. I mean, I can to it. It's kind of like a movie that you just play like crap
Yeah.
throughout just to get to the next cutscene kind of thing. Um, but yeah, I mean, still a great game. But yeah, I mean, there's some games where 30 FPS I don't have like too much of a problem with. But I don't know if I'm playing an FPS game. That's very much like it's supposed to be fast paced, right? 30 FPS
Oh
ain't
yeah.
fast paced anymore. You know, it's like um,
No.
and yeah, it's definitely a little bit concerning for me seeing this too. Like, how's it gonna run on PC? Like, is it gonna be adequate on PC? Is it gonna, if they can't get the optimization correct on a console yet, definitely is a little bit concerning for PC. Because I think a lot of devs have proven it's harder to optimize on a system where specs can range anything as opposed to a controlled environment that is a console. So yeah, a little bit concerning. Not gonna lie.
We're gonna have to hopefully hope for the best. I think that's the only thing we can really say or do. Um, I'm gonna ask a real question for you though. If this wasn't coming out on Game Pass, would you buy it?
Oh, that is a really good question, Mike. I must say, it's a very good
And
question.
here and follow up. Uh, would this tweet impact whether or not you would buy it? About it being locked at 30 frames per
Dude,
second.
if I was on console, yeah, not gonna lie. If
Yeah, I wouldn't
I was
buy
on
it.
console, yeah, I'd wait. Um, that's just me. Especially, yeah, if it's not on Game Pass and I have to play it on
Um,
Xbox, I'm waiting, dog. Like, you know what I
yeah.
mean? But yeah, I mean, see, that's the thing, and I don't know too. I would probably only buy this game on PC if I had three people that were like, all right, yeah, let's do it, let's play it,
Yeah,
and
we're
we're
all
like
gonna
committed,
play.
like,
Yeah.
because yeah, I'm not doing a solo, so yeah, there's my stipulations, I think. But yeah, no shot on buying this on console if if it's 30
Yeah.
FPS guaranteed.
Yeah, that's basically what I was thinking too, and I just wanted to see if you'd be the same way.
Yeah, yeah, that's how it is. But man, I hope the game's great. But yeah,
I
definitely.
expect it to be good,
Yeah,
to be honest.
this is like
It,
a
it,
opaque red flag. It's kind of like not a full red flag, but it's kind of like all right,
yeah.
maybe half raise one. You know?
I feel like you just don't know what you're gonna get from Bethesda anymore, and it's so sad to say that,
Yeah, no,
like
it
out
is.
loud.
I mean, granted, this is
It's
the main dev's Arcane, so it's kind of like, but Arcane make good games. I
yeah,
mean, we're talking about like what, like Dishonored and Dishonored 2, like those are solid games.
yeah. Far
Um,
Cry 2 and Stalker is what they mentioned in this as
yeah,
well.
I mean, yeah,
So
a
it's like
great
they're not
studio,
bad.
and
Yeah.
that's but those also are very different games. It's not a co-op multiplayer FPS, so I'm sure there's extra hurdles there, but yeah. But it's also Bethesda, they're publishing it, so blood still gets a little bit on their hands too,
Always.
Yeah, we'll see, man. 3 weeks. That's all we gotta wait.
It's
There's
true.
there's stuff that gamers could take advantage of right now at the time they're listening to this, Mike. But if
I
you
feel
listen to this
like
like a month from now, maybe not. But right
that's a good
now.
point. Yeah, for this week, the week of the podcast, this is gonna be published on the 14th of May, correct? March,
Hmm.
April, April. We're in April. Oh my gosh,
Yeah,
are we?
June.
Jeez. I can't even keep track anymore, man. But basically, this comes from Kotaku, and there are a bunch of games on discount. So a bunch of PlayStation and Xbox games just got a steep discount. Destiny 2 Lightfall, Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2, and more are part of the current spring sales. We're talking about recent games, and I'm pretty excited about this because personally, I want to know if Destiny 2 is going to be heavily marked down for that new DLC.
Yeah.
We shall see. Let's get into it. So, both PlayStation and Xbox are running big spring sales right now, from Lego Star Wars to The Last of Us Part 1. It's the perfect time to dip into some of the 2023's biggest blockbusters so far or catch up on last year's releases. PlayStation sale on PS4 and PS5 games will run until the end of the month, April 30th, and includes discounts on some excellent first-party exclusives like Marvel Spider-Man, Miles Morales, which is $20, Horizon Forbidden West, which is $40, and which has its new paid expansion Burning Shores coming later this month. And this person has already mentioned The Last of Us Part 1, which is $50. A PS5 remaster is a great opportunity to revisit the source material following the HBO's adaptation. And this is I should have mentioned this. This is from Ethan Gash, from Kotaku. It's more of like an opinion, but also helping you out, trying to find out some good sales. The other one on the Xbox side is there's a spring sale running from April 17th and offers savings on platform tent poles like Forza Horizon 5, which is $30, Halo Master Chief Collection, $16. I'm surprised that's still in the teens, to be honest. It would have been cheaper by now. Uh, just saying, I'm a Halo kid too. Sea of Thieves, $20. Hi-Fi Rush, which I think just won Game of the Year, didn't it?
Game of the
Hi-Fi
year?
Rush, no, it just came out in its early contender. I remember that. Sorry.
Yeah.
Hi-Fi Rush, the surprise rhythm action platform crowd pleaser from February, is also 10% off right now at $27. And 2013's Game of the Year Pentiment is 33% off at $14. So all these numbers are in USD. So check your local listing for the Xbox Marketplace and PS4, but something to mention. And of course, you could also subscribe to the Game Pass. Highly recommend from us. That's for sure.
Oh yeah.
They uh, they have access for a single monthly fee, but sometimes it's nice to own. And Destiny 2 Lightfall is also only dropped a little over a month ago, and the Cyberpunk expansion is already $33. So that's a decent price.
Oh yeah.
What's your take so far?
Yeah, so
All the
far,
discounts.
look, I mean, these are, pretty solid games. I think on the PlayStation side, you got some good first parties. You want to play Spider-Man Miles Morales, $20. Horizon Forbidden West for good things. It's got a new DLC coming out. I'm pretty sure you have to pay for it, so just keep that in mind too if you're trying to
Yeah,
buy it for that. Last of Us Part 1. Here it runs well on PS5. PC,
heard it's good.
PC
Yeah,
launch was
it's working on
rocky.
something.
They're working on they've already put out like two pretty big updates though, so they're actively actually fixing it on PC. But regardless, still a great, great story game if you haven't played it already. They even added. They said they just recently added new content. They actually added like I saw some outfits for Ellie that was based off the show too, so it kind of has some like interchange.
I did,
Like,
yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, two different shirts and outfits
yeah,
from the HBO series is actually in the game now.
yeah,
It's
very
pretty
cool
cool.
there. I mean, on the Xbox side, yeah, Forza Classic, Halo Master Chief Collection. Unless I feel like most people already have it, but I mean, hey, if you don't, also it's on Game
Yeah.
Pass, so you don't have to spend 16. You could spend what like 10, 15 and play that for a month. Sea of Thieves is
Yeah,
20,
then
also
cancel
a
it, yeah.
Game Pass game. A lot of these are Game Pass games, I think. So it's like if you really want to try them out, I mean, you could just get Game Pass for a couple months, and that's like only 20, $30, and
I
so
would recommend that over
yeah,
everything. Sometimes you can get Game Pass for free if you have like different memberships with like
yeah,
Xbox or Microsoft sponsored or partnered content. I know Discord does
yeah,
that. They'll
Discord,
have
yeah,
like 3 months free of Game Pass.
yeah.
Like
Yeah, I
check that
know.
out.
I know for the longest time they had the dollar deal where you can get it for like a month or something for a
Yeah.
dollar or something like that.
Yeah,
I,
test it out,
I
yeah.
think they actually discontinued that recently, or they're going to, unfortunately. But still a good price even if you don't have a discount or
I
anything.
guess gotta save up for that Activision purchase.
Yeah, I know for real. But yeah, no, I mean so far. I mean, look, so far these are pretty decent. I would say on the Xbox side, you go with Game Pass, but on the on the PlayStation side, PS5.
Yeah.
A lot of those
First
games,
party games.
especially if you're getting them on the marketplace, I mean, they could be expensive. So anytime there's a sale, it's good to take advantage.
Facts, yeah. I think a couple of things to mention that both the platforms do have, like, continue on with the article. Both the platforms have sales going on for 25% off on Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2. That is the most recent one, not the one from like 20 years ago. And there is a cross-gen bundle for the Assassin's Creed Origins, Odyssey, and Valhalla that's 75% off at $48. So less than $50 and you can buy all three games.
A lot of
That to me
content.
is a
Mentioned
deal.
it earlier.
Yep.
A lot of
Oh,
content.
that's a lot of hours.
Yeah.
That's an hour and 45 minutes, I think. My math's right. Yeah,
Yeah.
of just straight campaign. The
Yeah.
other thing on here is Dead Space remake is 20% off, $56. Marvel Midnight, XCOM, stuff like that. Destiny 2 Lightfall is $34. So and
Yeah.
Tina Turner, Tiny Tina's Wonderlands is $30. And
Yeah.
I haven't played that, but I heard it's really good. The same thing with the Plague Tale Requiem is going for $39.
Yeah. Game Pass game, by the way.
Yeah, a lot of these are Game
Yeah.
Pass games. So
Yeah.
really what people need to be looking out for is like check out the deals, man.
Yeah.
That's really what it comes down to. There's a bunch of different stuff going on with Nintendo. I know we're going to talk about that later as well. But I mean, there's like real options out there for
Yeah.
anybody that's just tired of the same games. So
Yeah, for sure. It says there's at the time of this is, on the 16th this runs out, but apparently you can get $50 off the God of War Ragnarok PS5 bundle. So you pretty much get the game for free, I think, at that point, if you buy the bundle. But yeah, that's on sale right now. Nintendo Spring Sale actually ended, unfortunately, so you can't get anything on Nintendo right now. But yeah, it says there's some new discounts running right now in the Partner Spotlight sale. There's a Mario Choose One Switch bundle. It's still active. You can get it lets you pick up the console alongside a free copy of new Super Mario Bros. Deluxe, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, Super Mario Odyssey. Yeah. It says unfortunately Xbox Series X and S are neither of them are on sale at the moment. Hate to see it.
Yeah, but I mean they've been selling at a loss of $100 every sale, is what Phil Spencer said about a year ago, and that price has not changed.
Yeah,
so
surprisingly.
Yeah.
But if you could get an Xbox Series X and just turn it into an emulator, I hear these days people are doing that. So and then
that's what I wish.
You have like 50 million consoles, bro. You may have to buy the dev version.
You do. Yeah, you have to buy the dev kit, dev version. It's a $20 subscription. I don't know if it's recurring. I need to look into that because if it's a one-time payment, I'm gonna do it. But if it's like multiple like months in a row or a year, it's like, do I really want to do that? Because for people that didn't catch it, a couple of weeks ago on this podcast, I mentioned that I was turning my Xbox into an emulator, and I had all the original Nintendo games on there. Worked great, worked like a charm, super fun. And then Microsoft, what was it, 4 days ago, basically put an axe in the ability to do that.
Yeah.
Banned all the apps, all the applications, but it's still available if you have a dev kit.
Yeah, so you have to bypass it, but
yeah.
Dude, that's the thing. I don't know. I still one of these days, I'm gonna keep saying it, dude. I'm buying a Raspberry Pi, making a Retro Pi. I'm just gonna just load everything onto it, dude. One of these days.
Raspberry Pis are kind of expensive now, though.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, dude. But I'm out to save my pennies, but one of these days I'm just gonna go ham. This could be great.
Yep. Well, without further ado, I mean that's basically what we had going on this week in terms of sales.
Yeah, great deals. Spring. People trying to, get games cheap. So now's your time.
Yes, sir. Basically, gaming is cheaper than it's ever been, man.
It really
I'm
is.
here for it.
It's 2 weeks away.
Oh, is it one of your favorite games that you've been waiting on forever? For 75 years.
I don't want to speak into existence, but what if it gets delayed next week? I mean, then what?
Oh,
then what? A week out, I just said, nah, we gotta wait.
Tell the people what we're talking about. We're talking about good old fashioned Dead Island 2.
We are.
And how many red flags do we need to see, man?
I don't know. Listen, we got 2 weeks, okay? 2 weeks into this game drops. All right,
we'll find out. Let's go.
I think. Oh yeah, never mind. I was thinking, I think it's a pre-order bonus to get it early, but it actually isn't. It's because they hit gold, and so in pre-orders alone they hit gold sales. So they're like, yeah, a week early. Anyway, okay. Dead Island 2 system requirements have been revealed. So this is, it says it here in the subheader here. The long-awaited zombie survival game will have a 3-player co-op mode. Maybe this is what I was thinking of. Maybe this is definitely what you were thinking of. Maybe this is a 3-player. This is why I was like, that's kind of weird. I don't know why they. Anyway,
that's all right. Every team of 4 has an anchor. Just literally drop them into the ocean. Don't pull them back up and go play this game.
Yeah, it says it'll have a 3-player co-op mode, but it will not support crossplay, which is unfortunate. The day and age, I think, where crossplay is in a lot of games. Anyways, should we add that to the red flag? Okay, maybe I'm speaking too early. Maybe
I would. I mean, I'm adding everything to a red flag in terms of this game, man.
These days, anything comes up that's a minor red flag, we're adding it. So. Anyway, with just 10 days remaining until the open world zombie brawler Dead Island 2 goes live, Deep Silver has unveiled the detailed system requirements and a technical FAQ that digs a little deeper into what players can expect. We pulled this article from PC Gamer. Andy Chalk was actually the one that wrote this, but they have all the requirements written out. But there's actually a sick little graphic here. I'm gonna pull up. It's kind of hard to see the ultra. Anyway, so there's minimum recommended high and ultra. Just go through them real quick. If you're trying to run this game at 1080p, 30 FPS, which we talked about earlier. I mean, come on, trying to run games at 30 FPS. Come on, you know what I'm saying? Especially a game like this. Yeah, it's AMD FX 9590. What is that? What is that, Mike?
A laptop? I don't know. I'll Google it. You
Um,
keep talking.
Yeah, it's so funny. So an AMD FX 9590, Intel Core i7 7700 HQ. I'm pretty sure that's a laptop CPU. Anyway, it's which I think is interesting here. It says they recommend 10 gigabytes for just the minimum of RAM, which is like whoa. That seems like that's not even 8. Like we going to 10. Most people like if you have a system like that, you're rocking 8, or like maybe 16. Anyway,
Dude, an FX 9590 isn't even that slow. At 4.7 gigahertz.
sheesh.
It's
An
at
AMD chip.
launch is $920.
Yeah. I mean, I guess effects
Retail right
that
now
is.
$400.
I mean, that is before Ryzen, right? So
That's true, yeah.
it's the reason
But
it's so
still,
expensive is like people are like, oh, they want an effects chip for whatever reason. Anyway,
yeah.
the minimum graphics card they recommend is at least a 1060. Makes sense. So if you want to run 1080p 60 FPS, they recommend at least a 2070 Super for the graphics card. And what I think is funny is a Core i9 9900K, which is like a few generations back i9, or a Ryzen 5 5600X. If you want to run this at 1440p 60 FPS, they recommend at least a 3070, as well as a 7700X Ryzen 7, which is like the newer one, or a i5 12600KF, which is like last gen Intel. And these are 16 gigs of RAM for both the recommended and high at 1440p. If you run this though at 4K 60 FPS, ready for this, Mike? They're recommending that you have at least a Ryzen 9 7900X, Intel Core i7 13700K, the newest, latest, and greatest Intel chip, which makes sense, I think. They recommend at least a Radeon RX 6950 XT or a RTX 3090 as your GPU. Which, if we track that in 4K games, I mean, that's probably the type of specs you'll be running if you're playing 4K 60 FPS on most titles. I mean, maybe, like, there's a lot of games, too, don't get me wrong, 4K 60 FPS can run on, like, a 3070, 3080 in 4K, like, it's just fine. They do recommend a 3090, though, for this case. And yeah, so that's the system cards right now. And just a little more info, it says Dead Island 2 will support AMD's FSR2 and Fidelity effects, contrast adaptive sharpening, but its FAQ includes the odd claim that it does not support performance boosting software. Deep Silver didn't specify what exactly that means, but the best guess is that it refers to NVIDIA's DLSS, which is not mentioned in the specs or FAQ. It doesn't make much sense to only call NVIDIA's upscaling technology performance boosting software when AMD's FSR is much the same. Regardless, it seems like a takeaway here that there will be no DLSS support, which is a bummer. And I agree, it's kind of a bummer. I mean, you see most games, most modern titles, they sit there, they put DLSS up on a podium because they're like, yeah, that's the latest and greatest upscaling software where you can get insane quality at like less demand. And when you see games nowadays that run DLSS versus just native, it's like night and day the amount of frames you gain just off that upscaling technology. But yeah, there is going to be a streamer mode that will block licensed music. That's also going to be a thing. I mean, that's most titles nowadays.
That's a good idea.
Yeah, I mean, most modern titles are doing that now. It says, although it won't block the music in the opening cinematic, so you have to watch for that. Very interesting there.
Great.
Yeah, it's like they have it, but they don't. Yeah, it says there is three-player co-op mode. Crossplay is unfortunately not supported. Yeah. And to no surprise, there was some fans on Twitter that felt that the listed specs were a little steep. Our bigger concern lies with the game itself, which has struggled through a messy decade-long development. Yeah, kind of goes on an opinion piece for the rest of it, but yeah, Dead Island 2, it'll come out. It says it'll finally come out April 21st.
Finally.
Finally coming out. Be available on PC through the Epic Games Store. I mean, I don't know, Mike. Do you think these specs are steep? And does anything like call out to you?
Yeah, it screams to me that it's not optimized.
Dang, okay.
That's what.
Okay.
We've been going back and playing games that are fully optimized now. And I have a 2070 Super. I have kind of an overkill, okay? Like 3700X, Ryzen 7. My dog just fell off the bed. 32 gigabyte RAM, pretty fast, 2070 Super. And it's like, I can play Destiny 1440p over 60 frames per second. And it's Gucci. It's fantastic. I can do the same thing with like Fortnite, Valorant, all these other games, main titles are like notoriety is that they're optimized, they feel good, right? And
Yeah.
then my hardware is maybe gonna get me 1440p, and it's definitely gonna be no higher than 30 frames per second.
Yeah.
You know, it's like
Yeah.
I,
It's a good point.
it's concerning. There's been a lot of delays. I'm not that optimistic, to be honest. I think the game has the potential to be good. There's so much potential, but potential doesn't win you awards. It just breaks hearts if you don't fulfill them. So
Dang. It's true.
just
It's
being
true.
real.
Yeah.
Just being real. The one thing you didn't mention though is the file size, man. How
Yeah.
big is the game?
Yeah, I was actually
How
just about to say it. So the game itself is 70 gigs, 70 gigabytes. That's pretty big. It's pretty
Oh, that's
big.
massive, man.
Bro, Cyberpunk wasn't that big. It was like at 60 something, but I don't think it was 70. Like, jeez, man. Yeah. Uh, I don't know the first thing about file compression, so I mean, I really can't speak too much on it. But I could just say from most titles these days, where you download them on PC, they are nowhere near that. So, and they probably look,
Yeah,
most of them look great. So yeah. I mean, I don't know how big the world is. We don't know any of that yet. I will
that's true.
say, as much as like I'm excited like for this game and like I do want to play it, I'm definitely waiting for reviews. I think that is
Oh,
without a doubt. Like if reviews are trash and the game is a pile of dookie, then I'm just gonna wait for a few updates at the very least. Or I'm waiting for a sale. Like there's no way I'm diving in head first. So this is definitely a game that I would urge anybody listening to this, if you're thinking about getting this game, wait for the reviews first, see how they pan out, and then go from there.
I wouldn't even wait for the reviews, man. Like, I would wait to watch somebody play it on stream. Like, go find your favorite content creator, somebody that's like really
Yeah,
high up there in like success, like the top 1% of Twitch, the top 1% of Twitch, like YouTube streamers and stuff like that. And I say the top 1% because those guys are millionaires and they have the best equipment money can buy.
literally.
So do that to see what the game could be,
Yeah,
you know?
it's true on the best
That
hardware.
yeah, that's like what I always do when I see a game that I really like. There's one particular YouTuber that I always go check out, and it's Jack Frags. Jack
He's
Frags has like
got
top of
the
the line
best rig,
equipment.
dude.
I love this dude's content, and he's really, really good at FPS. So I'll just like go in there and I'll just check out his stuff. I'm like, this is fantastic quality. It's amazing. So then
Very
I
true.
know it's like if the game can be that optimized, that good, it's like, okay, let's go check it out. But if it's not, I mean, see ya. Come back in another
See ya,
year when it's
dude.
fixed. You
Yeah.
know?
Yeah, hopefully that's not the case. Hope we can only wait and see, Only 2 weeks
Yeah.
away. Find out soon enough.
Not even that, man. We're gonna be 8 days away when this episode goes up.
It's very true. We're close,
Well,
all right? I'm hoping either late this week, early next week, reviews will start dropping. We'll see stuff, and
yeah.
then, shortly we'll start seeing streams and stuff. But yeah, don't want to get the expectations too high. We'll see.
I know
The
your expectations are high, but I've been kinda pushing them down the
end.
last year. Every time we talk about it, I'm like, "Kyle, how many more red flags do you need, my man?"
Listen, dude. My expectations are, maybe a little high for the next topic here. I will say that.
A little high for the next topic?
Maybe.
Okay. We are talking about the same one. We're looking at the same article, right?
Yeah.
E3's canceled?
Yeah. But then you read the rest of
That's true. That's
that.
true. The E3 canceled part, I feel like we kinda called that. Remember
Yeah.
that last year? We
Yeah.
were like, "Okay, E3 is not gonna work," but Summer Games Fest popped off. But everybody pulled for people that don't know, pretty much every major publisher, Nintendo, PlayStation, and Xbox pulled out of E3, and then E3 canceled because of it. But Nintendo is doing a Nintendo Live in September in the United States, in Seattle. So, that's pretty sick.
Oh, yeah. Yes,
That's
sir.
just a little bit over the Pacific for, Nintendo. Just come travel over, tell us what's going on. So, let's get into this article. It's The Verge by Emma Roth, who we have covered, like, gotta be 20 times now or more.
At least.
Yeah. So, Nintendo Live is coming to the United States. The game maker announced Tuesday that it will hold Nintendo Live 2023 in Seattle, Washington this September. Like its live event this past fall in Japan, this year's in person event will feature gameplay from Nintendo games, live stage performances, game tournaments. That's a shocker, actually.
Yeah.
Game
Yeah. A
tournaments?
little bit. Not gonna lie.
Nintendo's been destroying all their tournament scene, their
Yeah,
comp
right?
scene. That's
Just
I'll believe it when I see it,
shooting
bro.
himself in the foot, but like, hey, if their own
I
sanctioned event, who knows, dude?
Yo, we need a fact check Emma Roth here because this is out of character from Nintendo. All right, so let's keep going. Live stage performances, game tournaments, Nintendo themed activities, and more. There isn't any information about when exactly the event will take place. Probably not even where, but Nintendo says to stay tuned for more details. This comes just weeks after E3 announced its cancellation as a result of several big name game companies dropping out of the event, with Microsoft and Ubisoft ditching E3 in favor of their own in person ones. Now we can add Nintendo to the list. So, in a quote from President Doug Bowser, which is the best person to run Nintendo
So
of
fitting.
America.
So fitting.
So ridiculous, dude. I swear that it sounds made up. I
Yeah,
know it's
right.
not, but
It's
it's
stage
like
name, dude, I swear.
it's gotta be. So he quotes as saying, "Fans of all ages can currently experience the unique games, characters, and worlds of Nintendo on the Nintendo Switch, but we want to expand that scope with a new experience. With Nintendo Live 2023, we're giving attendees a chance to celebrate together with family, friends, and the broader Nintendo community in the spirit of fun and creating long-lasting memories." What else is there to say?
I mean, what else? You know, what else can you say to that?
I kind of want to go. I'll be honest, man. I kind of want to go.
Check out Seattle.
I've never been to Seattle. I hear it's a mixed bag. But I like Nintendo, so I mean,
Yeah, I mean, hey, Nintendo hosted an event. I'm definitely curious. So,
oh
I mean, yeah, they had an event in Japan last year. I didn't catch it. But yeah, I'll be curious to see. Now that it's like closer to our time zone, and it'd be a little more accessible to the U.S.
oh wait,
audience. So,
yeah, that's a good
um,
point.
yeah, it'll be interesting to see. I mean, the fact that E3's gone, probably never to return, unfortunately. Yeah, I'm curious
Yep,
to see how all these developers respond. And this might be the way Nintendo will respond on their own. Obviously, Summer Games Fest the thing. Look, but I mean, the real question is, dude, what tournament's going on at Nintendo Live 2023? You know,
it's, I, I'm I'm calling BS, man. I just don't see it. Like we're talking about a publisher that has systematically gone out of their way to dismantle the Smash community. They
cease and
like
desist.
Yeah,
Cease and
cease and
desist.
desist. The next article that we're talking about is basically saying like, "Hey, you can't be leakers." Like they take this very seriously. A spoiler, but there's other things that Nintendo has basically been cracking down on. I'm really surprised that they haven't started cracking down on more of the third party like controllers and stuff.
That's
You
actually a
know,
good point. Yeah, yeah, like
like
Power A and all these
yeah.
other like
Oh, to tie into what we talked about, two articles ago about how Xbox you can run the Series X and S into an emulator. One of the main reasons why Microsoft pulled that down, they cited proprietary reasons with Nintendo. So I told you I turned mine into basically an emulator to play Nintendo games. Microsoft finds out about that, specifically with the Dolphin emulator. Shout out coming to Steam. That's pretty awesome for people that are on like the
true,
Steam Deck
true.
and other things. But all that to really say is like Microsoft axed that completely because of Nintendo. So it's like I'm
Yeah,
supposed to believe that Nintendo's going to host their own event and tournaments? Bro, what?
I mean, the prize pool's even going to be good. Who
There's
knows,
no
dude?
shot there's going to be a prize pool. No
No
way.
prize pool. Dang.
No
It's
way,
just events.
dude.
Ah, free Switch at least. Yeah, do something.
L-
They gotta get some incentive for people to play. Ain't nobody playing
Listen,
an unpaid. There's no shot.
I mean, let me be real. Okay, I am I don't know. I don't have any facts, right?
Mhm.
But everything tells me that it just ain't happening. Like it's so out of character, out of pocket.
Dang.
It doesn't make sense.
Right. I mean, you could be right. Honestly, I can't argue it. Um,
If I
especially
am,
with
we'll
how
play this back.
look, man. Especially how they've reacted to all the fighting game tournaments. Yeah.
Yeah.
Ah, dude. I'm excited to see if there's any reveals of this thing. What are we gonna get? Like,
Oh,
what kind of reveals are we gonna get? But hey, if you go in person, you get to hang out with Mario in person. Like, come on,
that's actually pretty cool.
hang out
Pretty
with
cool.
Luigi. Is Wario gonna be there?
Or just random characters from Animal Crossing.
right? Is there, there's got to be people at the very least cosplaying as like a Splatoon like ink person, you know what I mean? I
Yeah.
don't know the name, but something, you know.
You know what, if I worked for Nintendo and I was like the event coordinator, I would set up some way somehow to make a real like in real life arena like Splatoon
That'd be
and
sick,
let
yeah.
people like spray each other with the crazy looking paint stuff.
What if
Yeah.
they just gave you like a giant, like clear, like poncho that you wear over? You just run around spraying each other with paint.
It'd be so much fun.
That's
Everything
funny.
would turn like that muddy green or whatever where all colors get mixed together. You know what I'm talking
Yeah.
about? Yeah,
Oh
but it'd be
man.
cool. It'd be fun.
Yeah.
One
I
could
don't know.
dream, I guess.
There's a lot of opportunities, a lot of things they could do with this. I'll be
Yeah.
curious to see what they actually do. But yeah, I've at this point, like you got me more curious about what these tournaments are going to be like at this rate. You know.
Yeah, I feel like that. I don't know, man. It feels like a typo almost.
uh, I can read your article. It's not a typo at all, though.
Oh
Look at
yeah, I
that.
know you can. Let's get into this one too.
Oh, this one's kind of wild. You ready for this, ladies and gentlemen?
Nintendo's out of control. That's what the title should be called.
All right. Author of Axios Gaming, Stephen Totilo. Tutilo. It's like Totitos or whatever. Sorry, Steven, I didn't mean to disrespect you like that. Anyway, this article from Axios. Nintendo asked court to make a Discord identify the Zelda leaker. Hey, don't leak anything, Nintendo, dude. I'm just saying.
We got to be careful. We don't leak stuff too.
I'm kind of nervous now. I ain't gonna lie. So Nintendo has asked a court to subpoena the online community platform Discord to divulge the identity of one user named Julian. Number is 2743. FBI open up. Who recently posted leaked images of the official art book for this May Switch mega release, The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. I love this. The little call to action. Why it matters. Let's see. Why does it matter?
Yeah.
Nintendo,
That's such a clear marketing 101.
Why it matters. Nintendo isn't just sending a message to leakers, but through court filings is showing how far it'll go to squelch leaks. On February, so a little context. On February 21st, Nintendo's senior corporate counsel for intellectual property emailed Discord about the leak of an art book on a Zelda Tears of the Kingdom Discord server. 8 minutes later, a Discord rep replied saying they would begin taking the content down. Nearly 10 hours later, Nintendo asked for the whole server to be taken down, saying users kept exchanging copies of the leak. Quote, some members have been assigned to the role of the PDF pirate. Dude,
Oh my gosh.
You can't make it up. Which identifies them as a source for PDF files of the infringing art book images. Dude, that is so troll. They just like got the images and like, all right, who wants the PDF pirate role? Oh,
That's so crazy.
attaching screenshots of users and offering to share the leaks over direct message. Discord's legal team replied the next day saying it had, quote, issued a warning to the server for the reported activity. The big picture, another call to action there, the big picture of all this, game companies are vigilant about tracking down leaks, but Discord isn't just where Zelda or Genshin Impact secrets proliferate. I like that word.
Strong word.
That recent Pentagon intelligence leak emerged through Discord, gaining traction, which when it appeared on a server dedicated to Minecraft, according to security experts. Dude, Discord, man. I mean, look, and this is actually a good question, Mike. Do you think Discord should I guess adhere the entirety of the responsibility if content is leaked on their platform that could be leaked elsewhere on the internet? Like say like Reddit or say, you know, an online forum. Like I mean, look, I get it's on a Discord server, but at the same time, like, they could just leak it elsewhere on the internet. Like, is Nintendo justified in coming after, like, this specific Discord community and just Discord in general, it almost feels like, for this leak?
Ooh, justified isn't the word I would use. So it's like, Discord's the easy target because it's a niche audience. There's not that many people really on Discord in the grand scheme of things, although there's a lot of people on it. But it's like if you compare it to something like Twitter, it's like Twitter is unmatched.
Yeah.
Actually, Facebook's unmatched.
Yeah,
Google
let's be real.
is unmatched off that. So it's like, I mean, we could really dive into this, but I feel like Nintendo's using it as a scapegoat, get some notoriety, have Axios or another major publication do a big article like this to bring notice of like, hey, don't leak our stuff. We will
Yeah.
come after you legally.
Yeah.
And I think it's a scare tactic similar to, remember, maybe you don't because I'm ancient history. You might have heard of it. Napster, LimeWire. Back in the day in the
Yeah.
90s, early 2000s, people were going there downloading music illegally, and the
Yeah.
record companies basically like unionized and try, well, they're already a union, they were monopoly almost basically, but they went after people that downloaded and made extreme example cases out of people, but now nobody cares because everything's streaming,
Yeah.
right?
Well, it's how the music
So
industry evolved. I mean, yeah, that's a whole thing. Because we were talking
yeah.
about, we were saying, they were, these labels were suing Napster for more money than was even like actually
Oh,
created on
yeah.
Earth. Like it was like trillions of dollars they were trying to sue him for. And
Yeah.
it's like, why? Like they're trying to
Yeah.
make a statement. But yeah, but music industry evolved and now streaming. And so now that's the, yeah. But yeah, I mean, there's a whole, you
Yeah.
can go on a whole thing about that. But yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
that was ridiculous.
But saying the word justified, yeah, they're justified. I mean, it's their property. It's intellectual property IP. They own the rights to it. A leak, it wasn't shipped for publication. They could have even had a couple labels on it. There's like not for publication. It's just like that becomes a legal document kind of
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah.
I mean, we get into the lawyer aspect of copyright issues here, but I mean, Nintendo does have a right to do this. And it just ties into the last article. A company, I don't picture a company that's doing this right now would be okay with doing tournaments. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But all that to really say is like, yeah, Nintendo's justified. I don't think that this would really be I don't think this is a big concern. I feel like if anything, it just brings more excitement to the game. People are just really excited about your game, man.
Yeah. It's
Let them
true.
be excited. So
Yeah, dude, we're so close to it too, which is crazy. Like, think about it. I'm like, I didn't realize
we
we were
really
this
are.
close to the next,
Oh yeah,
the sequel to Breath of the Wild, right? So that's,
yeah,
game.
right around the corner, man.
It's just 6 years old. Yeah, it's wild. But yeah, we're right here. We made it. This could be the magnum opus of the Switch. Who knows, dude? When we're getting the next console out. I don't know.
Please,
Is this
please, that would
the
be so
I'm
cool.
trying to think of the name. Maybe magnum opus is right. I'm trying to think. There's like this. I want to say Swan Song. Maybe that's it. I don't know. It's like the last like. It's like this is the culmination of what this platform has become. Like Last of Us Part 2 is arguably kind of the end of PS4, right? Because that was like
Yeah.
it was perfectly optimized, utilized everything, and it graphically looked ahead of its time. And what anything was imagined a PlayStation 4 could
Probably
even do.
the pinnacle, the summation,
Yeah.
the conclusion, stuff like that. They'll mean the same thing, but I know there's a specific word you're looking for.
Yeah. I feel like it's Swan
That
Song, but maybe that's what I'm
yeah,
thinking of.
I don't know.
No,
I
whatever.
barely read
No,
these articles.
look, you were a thesaurus right there to listen off those words. So, I'll take any of them. You know what I mean?
The PDF pirate, though, imagine attaching that roll. Gosh.
All right, who wants the roll? Dude, that's hilarious, though. They just straight trolled it
That's so
and
wild,
made
man.
Nintendo even more mad. That's so funny. Oh, man. You know what we talk about a lot, though, Mike? We
Oh,
can talk about it a little bit more,
I guess we can talk about it, can't we? Let's see. What we're talking about is the good old fashioned. Another article from The Verge. Why are you giving me all the articles from The Verge? I just realized this. You don't like The
I
Verge?
just realized that, too. Dude, listen, I'm not, look,
Hit or miss.
not biased or anything. No, I'm not biased or anything. But
Okay.
like one of the first places I go every week is The Verge. I just love their interface. They have a good website, good design.
It is clean. It's modern, and it's
And I mean, also
new
I
age.
I
Yeah,
love
modern.
Tom Warren, senior editor. So yeah,
That's a
huge
good
fan,
point.
huge fan.
Tom Warren's pretty serious when it comes to Twitter. Any types of leaks, postings,
He's a man.
information. Trusted. He's trusted. No other way to say it.
Who wrote this article?
Well,
too, by the way,
yes, he did. That's why we're talking about him in the first place. So, Tom Warren has written is without getting ready to add PC. Oh, sorry, is Microsoft getting ready to add PC games to Xbox Cloud Gaming? And if anybody's ever heard, listened, checked out the page, you know I'm a fan of this. Cloud gaming is the future.
Mm.
So, a new partnership with British mobile operator hints at PC games on Microsoft's cloud gaming service. So this is essentially a rumor, and let's get into it. Microsoft and British mobile network EE announced an expanded partnership today that will see the software giant commit to a 10-year deal to bring Xbox PC games to EE customers. It's part of Microsoft's series of cloud gaming deals, but this one is different and could hint at PC games coming to Xbox Cloud Gaming. And In a quote, Microsoft and EE are expanding our partnership with a 10-year commitment in cloud gaming to bring PC games built by Activision Blizzard following the acquisition and Xbox to EE customers, says Microsoft Gaming CEO Phil Spencer in a tweet this morning. With Microsoft Cloud gaming deals with Nvidia, Ubitus, and Boosteroid, remember that? Where they
All these services, dude. Oh,
10
they're
year
so funny.
10-year services of people I've never even heard of, but
Yeah.
they're
Let's give them
popular in the European
contracts.
Union.
Slap.
Yeah,
Let's go.
they're popular in Europe, so
Yeah.
it makes
Yeah,
sense.
they're popular elsewhere,
Uh,
so not knocking them.
so Ubit,
Yeah, Ubitus. That's what I was calling it.
Ubitus. Hey, thank
Ubitus.
you. You just said I was a
I just
thesaurus
think
in the
like
last one. I can't even speak.
I just think
Bu-
Ubisoft, Ubitus, or you could say Ubitus.
That's
I don't know. Like that was how I was kind of sounding it out.
Well, them and Boosteroid have all been involved putting Xbox PC games on a rival cloud gaming service. EE doesn't offer its own service. So EE is a mobile network operator in the UK that offers access to an Xbox Game Pass Ultimate subscription. Ultimate is, for people that don't know, Ultimate is pretty much anywhere play. Play
Yeah.
on PC, you can
I mean,
play on
that's
Xbox, you can
everything.
play.
That includes
Yeah.
Xbox Gold. That includes Xbox Game Pass for PC, console. Yeah, I don't think there's too much else. I mean, it's xCloud
Mobile
too.
devices,
You get
tablets,
xCloud, like
anything.
everything.
Yeah. So that subscription service is through an add-on that customers can choose to add to their monthly mobile contract. So that's in the contracts
It's
when they
actually
pay
pretty
for
sick.
it.
I like that. So like you can
That's
just add it to your mobile bill.
That's kind of cool. It doesn't operate its own cloud gaming service, nor has it announced any plans to do so. And the tweet from Mr. Phil Spencer himself at Xbox P3 is Microsoft and EE are expanding our partnership with a 10-year commitment in cloud gaming to bring PC games built by Activision Blizzard following the acquisition. And Xbox to EE customers, we are committed to bringing more games to more people however they choose to play. And Mr. Tom Warren asked Microsoft to clarify Spencer's partnership tweet, but the company said it doesn't have anything else to share on its vague announcement. That's not really that vague. I don't feel like. Likewise, he asked EE about the deal, and it did comment on the fact it doesn't operate its own cloud gaming service.
Yeah.
It's like he really likes to mention that. So this is an EE spokesperson, James Otterson, is as part of our ambition to be the number one destination for gamers, we are naturally reviewing many exciting new areas for how we can evolve our customer gaming experiences, with cloud gaming services being just one part of this. We have nothing further to announce on future plans at the moment. So if I am a cell phone maker, cell phone service, I'm trying to sign deals with one of the best cell phone maker possible to have cloud gaming on my phone, wouldn't you?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I pretty much think this is what's going on. But the Ultimate Pass is very interesting because the PC games are on Ultimate Pass.
Yeah.
And if you could play those on a mobile device as well, do you need something like a Steam Deck? Do you need the Logitech that we covered, the Luna, I think it was? I can't remember.
I forgot the name too.
They all blend together, man. Because there's a
They use Rogue. We talked about that last week. The new Rogue device.
That's what I'm saying. Like they just keep coming out, and
Yeah.
PlayStation might be making one too soon.
Yeah.
A couple of rumors everywhere.
Oh, I mean, yeah. There's so many handhelds now. Look, see, if you want to game on a bigger screen, you get one of the handhelds. You know what I mean? Like that's kind of the big
Pretty
selling
much.
point. I think on a lot of those. Is
you get joysticks too.
Yeah, you have built-in controls. You have a bigger screen. That's the selling point. If you're cloud gaming, you can play it on any device. Your screen size is limited. But if you have a phone and you have a Bluetooth controller, you could just hook it up. You could use a controller. That's nice. So you actually have like a proper controller. But you are limited to the screen size. So do you want to like sit like on your desk, like tucked, 2 inches in front of your screen trying to experience it? I mean, but if you have a big phone, it probably helps. But yeah.
I got a monster phone. Even I don't want to do that.
Yeah, I mean, this is a pretty this iPhone's pretty big. Anyway.
I mean
it's almost as big as your oh my gosh.
Yeah. This is a full 24 ounce like container. My phone is dang near taller than it. No, it's about the same size.
You low-key almost gave me anxiety because you tipped the bottle over and I was like, it's about to pour out everywhere.
No. I've been drinking water this whole time, and stay hydrated, friends.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, I honestly, for me, I kind of wish more like mobile providers did this. Like, imagine if like Verizon or AT&T was like, "Hey, we'll throw in Game Pass. You may have to pay a little extra, but you could just add that onto your monthly bill. It's one less kind of thing you have to worry about. We just take it out of your bill already." I mean, it's convenient,
Yeah.
especially if you're going to stick with Game Pass. Is it going to be harder to cancel? Perhaps. I mean, you have to go through your
Oh, for
provider
sure.
at that point, right? So it may
Yeah,
be a
that's a
little
good
more of a
point.
hassle. I don't know. I mean, I
Maybe.
like this idea. Look, Game Pass Ultimate, you get the console games, you get the PC games, you get xCloud. You can play on anything for the games that are compatible with it. Um, there's a lot to offer there for a low price. Will that go up in the
Yeah.
future? It pretty much is. They've indicated that yes, at some point it probably will go up. I mean,
Mhm.
there's with the amount they offer, I'm surprised it hasn't already. But yeah, I dare I make a prediction now and say before the end of the year we'll see an increase? Probably. It's
Mhm.
just there's just no saying. But
Yeah.
I don't know. It's a great service. They want to work with a mobile provider to give cloud gaming and be able to bundle it with their service. And who knows? See, the biggest thing would be like if they said, they could get some monster deal with EE and then actually provide it at a like lower cost. That'd be pretty sick. So like
Yeah,
knock
that'd be a good
$5
idea.
off or something like that. That'd be pretty
Yeah.
sick. Um, Certainly more people would be inclined to just do it through their provider at that point too. But yeah, I'm not a businessman, so I don't know who would be the loser if it would be win-win at that point or not. But um, I mean, actually, I'm going too deep down this. I think it could be because especially it could draw more people to that provider, right? Be like, oh, I can get
Yes.
I already get Game Pass. I could go with a provider that's probably reliable and I could get it at a cheaper rate. Anyways, we're not here to talk about the business side. We're here to talk about the fact that Xbox is doing yet another partnership with another company and probably using it
Yeah.
as leverage for the acquisition at some point.
1,000,000%. They are
So,
definitely doing that.
so
I
yeah,
would like to add on so this is basically like an ISP partnership because they've already gone to the publishers and the platforms and all this other stuff. I'm waiting for them to go to somebody like Samsung and do this same deal, but instead of doing the telecommunication side of it, go into a deal with the manufacturer. So it's like when you buy the next generation Samsung phones, you have the option to add on like a premium Xbox Game Pass Ultimate subscription, and your phone is more calibrated to run those games.
yeah,
You know,
true.
I think that'd
Yeah,
be kind of cool, like an upgrade processor, upgraded like RAM or whatever.
yeah, you'll be running games like smooth as butter. Yeah, I
Yeah,
mean that's
better
that's.
antennas,
I
like
mean, yeah,
faster speeds. You know.
yeah. I mean that's certainly good incentive. I think like because at that point, like either like they could do like if you were to subscribe through the provider, it could be like either a year contract or it could be the contract of the phone. Like as long as you have the phone, it's there. Um, yeah, there's a lot of ways I could do it, but yeah. At the end of the day, this is another bullet that Microsoft is adding to the chamber to try and
Yeah,
use in their fight against the CMA. So this is it.
you
Um,
are 100%
so
on
yeah,
on point with that.
but yeah. I mean, yeah. Hey, if you're in the UK, might be worth checking out EE and see if you don't already have them. See what they can offer through their provider and just play some XCloud. I mean, I think for me, like I said, XCloud. The only games I've really played are over Wi-Fi, but they ran fantastic on my iPhone 14 Pro Max. So I do have the latest and greatest, but even if you're a generation or two behind, I'm sure it could still run pretty well with the right internet connection. So worth checking out.
I'm excited for it, and I mean, we're gonna see more of these deals going through with brands we've never even heard of because I mean, for instance, I was looking at the Xbox most played games because Xbox a long time ago, maybe like 15, 20 years ago, got rid of the ability to see player counts. So what they do now is do a ranking system based on the most active. And I found something like, dude, close to 20 different regions. So it's like Xbox is a worldwide thing.
Yeah,
And they're going to keep going for deals with brands that us in the United States and North America have never even heard of.
yeah.
So it's
We you
only a
know what
matter of time, man.
we didn't mention it, okay, but I'm gonna mention it now because this is an article I saw this week. Um, and you know what? It could be a nice little bonus article. All right,
Bonus article. Let's go.
bonus article. You ready for this? PC Game Pass is launching in 40 new countries, Mike. 40 new
That's
countries,
right.
dude. Game Pass is now available in 86 countries as Microsoft expands its PC offering across Europe. Microsoft's launching the PC Game Pass service into 40 new countries today, and that was April 11th at the time writing this, including many European markets. After previewing the service in these countries over the past 2 months, PC Game Pass is officially available in countries across Europe, North America, and Middle East, including Croatia, Iceland, Libya, Qatar, and Ukraine. This expansion means that 86 countries, Mike, 86 countries now have access to Game Pass as Microsoft seeks to grow its subscription service beyond console. Microsoft Gaming CEO Phil Spencer warned a growth slowing down on the console side of Xbox Game Pass last year, but noted that the company was, quote, seeing incredible growth on PC. Microsoft said in October that PC Game Pass subscriptions had increased by 159% year over year. Everyone's getting a PC now, you know? Everybody.
It's about time.
Hopping on that PC. PC Game Pass includes access to Microsoft's Xbox PC games, hundreds of PC games, Bethesda titles, and even an EA Play membership where you can try out new releases for up to 10 hours, which I think is really sick. That's actually an underrated feature, too. There's been some pretty cool games that have come up, and it's just like, oh, they're brand new, and you can try them for 10 hours. What? It's insane. You get a lot of time. But yeah, anyone who helped Microsoft's test PC Game Pass in these new markets will get 2 free months of membership as a thank you for participating in a preview program. This will be available directly in members' accounts in the coming days, says Jarrett West, CVP of Xbox Gaming Marketing. Microsoft also has a special welcome offer for the first 3 months of PC Game Pass in these new markets, and pricing will vary per country. PC Game Pass expansion comes just hours after Microsoft announced its cloud gaming partnership with EE, which we just mentioned last article. The deal involves Xbox PC games coming to EE. Need I mention more? We just talked about that for like 20 minutes.
We really did, yeah.
The full list. I mean, I'm just scrolling for the people watching on video. I mean, it's 40 countries, all right. it's it. I mean, Albania, Algeria, Croatia, Costa Rica, Cyprus, Honduras.
They really hit the Middle East and
Kuwait.
Mediterranean pretty hard.
Kuwait, Latvia,
Iceland.
Libya.
Moldova's pretty interesting, and Morocco.
Yeah,
Getting Africa in
Moldova,
there.
Malta, Montenegro. Like, there's it's just so many.
Speaking of the countries and regions, let me I have a list that already exists of where they already have it set up. And some of them I was really surprised by. Like there are ones where I was like, okay, of course they have Brazil, of course they have Australia, of course they
Right.
have New Zealand. But it's like one I didn't even think of is Georgia, the country.
Yeah.
India. India
Yeah.
makes sense when you think about it, right? The huge population,
Oh,
plenty of
dude.
tech there.
And that's
But it's
yeah. I
of
mean,
course,
yeah.
Russia, South Africa, and United Arab Emirates. I find that kind of interesting,
Yeah.
but
Oh,
not
yeah.
that interesting, if that makes sense. It's very westernized kind of country in 2 cities, but maybe 3? Yeah, I think 3 cities. And then, South Korea, of course.
Oh, yeah.
Found that kinda interesting. There's a lot, man.
Yeah, dude. I mean, it's quite literally worldwide at this point.
Oh, yeah.
It's full Pitbull. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's Mr. Worldwide at this point, dude. Like, it's
Alright, you
insane.
put
Man.
Pitbull in the thumbnail. For sure.
Oh, I already have an idea, Mike. Yeah, I'm one step
Let's
ahead of
go.
you, dude.
Alright.
But yeah, I don't know. Little bonus article. I know Mike probably had to add that to the list too, so we could put that in the episode. But yeah, just a little something. Yeah, I mean, PC Game Pass is growing. It's growing rapidly. You know, where it's worldwide, literally. Is it crazy, Mike?
Worldwide.
Worldwide, dude.
I
Everywhere.
think it is pretty insane. All that to basically say they're going to keep adding more and more deals on the table to try to force the Activision Blizzard deal through and try to prove that hey, we're not going to be a monopoly if we buy this company.
Yeah. Yeah, dude, they're offering it on these services. Look, man, I mean, we're end of April. I mean, I know some of these got extended too to May or June or something like that. So we still have more time. But yeah, it's hard to say. I mean, Microsoft's really improving their case, which is good to see. But yeah, we won't know until the announcement. So
that's true.
Let's see what Microsoft makes now, dude.
We do have a couple more things coming up, because we are in April. And in a couple more months, maybe 2 or 3 months, we're going to start seeing some new trailers, new games in the works that have been hidden under the radar. And I'm looking forward to that. And then we're gonna probably see some hands-on stuff like at the end of the year of new games.
Saying, dude, it's so crazy how close you are to June already. You know, and June's
Time
like
goes
the
by.
June is the it's just a bam, 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 bam. Like you just get hit with so much
It really
stuff.
is,
So
man. Yeah.
yeah. Oh man, dude, Summer Games Fest episode. When it's going to be in June. That's when. You know what I'm saying?
That's when. That's gonna be a special for sure. We're gonna do our typical week update and then just drop an entire thing devoted to Summer Games Fest like we did last year. That was good.
Yeah, we did. Yeah, I loved our exclusives like that, where we just covered the whole event because we just got to talk about everything. So
yeah, it's a good time.
Dude, this year
give people a rundown.
Could be some good games, dude. Unreal Engine 5, dude. It's been cooking a little bit. Let's see what those are
the stuff
out
that
with.
I've been seeing out of like Fortnite as well has been really, really cool to see.
Yeah.
Just like creations given to the giving the tools to players to create new things is very fascinating. There's also a bunch of like really cool tech stuff that we don't really cover that much in terms of like the gaming industry stuff because we're trying to do like a gaming podcast, but there's like a lot of cool tech. I've been posting in the Discord about, let me just read a couple of these articles here. It's like Microsoft is now working on an AI. Google's also working on an AI that's basically going to try to compete with ChatGPT.
Yeah.
They got like the best VPNs for 2023. There's some like plugins and different updates going to Windows 11 that's currently in beta. There's a Oh yeah, we did talk about the PS Vista 2 or Vita 2
Yeah,
was
the
the
Vita.
handheld device. And yeah, it's good. Things are good right now for people in tech and interested in it.
Yeah,
And
for sure.
I like checking it out.
Yeah, dude, we're in the age of AI, you know. This is like
We are, yeah.
this is the next huge leap that all these companies are trying to make. So it'll be interesting to see in the next couple of years though. Hopefully it evolves for good. But dude, I don't know, man.
Yeah.
I don't know, man, dude. I see Terminator, I'll just say it, you know.
Speaking of
there's
which,
a little bit
real
of
quick,
like in the back of my head, I'm just like,
every time I'm in the Twitch chat in the mornings when we're watching our buddy play TI 800 or 8000 or whatever, named after the Terminator model, I'm like, dude, wow, it's so true every day. Yeah.
Oh man.
Put Terminator in the thumbnail.
Hey, there's a little Easter egg in the AI week where we talk a lot about AI. I threw a little Terminator Easter egg in there. I don't know if anyone saw it, but
I saw it for sure. All right, man. Let's let the people go. We appreciate you all listening. This is the M2 podcast. This has been, what are we on? We're on episode 14, man. We're cooking it. We are cooking it. We're in the fours. Season 4, episode 14. Check out the YouTube. Check out the Twitter. Check out the Spotify. Our numbers are good, by the way. Analytics are looking healthy. So appreciate you guys listening. If you want to join the Discord, come say what's up. We post all the links below in the description of everything that you are hearing, listening. I don't even know what else you'd be doing if you saw us right now. But
I don't know.
Yeah. Thanks for tuning in. You got anything to say to the people?
I don't know, man. All the links are down there. Discord's wide open. Well, ladies and gentlemen, if you haven't clicked it by now, I don't know. It's there, dude. It's just chilling. No rush.
At least check out the articles.
Well, at least we put in the effort, to make sure we link all the articles. We link the times and everything. So,
yeah.
If you want more info or you just want to read them yourselves, dude, they're all there. But our socials are there too, man. So
Oh yeah, there's Twitter. I mean, you can follow us. I'm posting ridiculous stuff, trying to get clickbait stuff.
we all farm for clout. You know what I'm saying?
Always, man. I'm saying stuff way out of pocket sometimes, just trying to have a good time.
Oh man.
My goal is to post right down the middle. Get one side upset, get the other side upset, get them together and fight. It's a good time.
And then occasionally it gets a little crazy, and you have to take a step back, and then you come back.
Yeah, then I disappear for a couple of hours. Come back and I said this. No. All right, we have taken up enough time, man. We've taken up 80 minutes of people's time. Let's let them go. Thank you all for tuning in. If you made it, we appreciate you. If you made it, let us know in the comments below. Anyways,
pineapples.
Let you know.
Say it.
Pineapples. Secret word, pineapples. Catch you later. Have a good one. See ya.
Bye, everybody.